Hi, today I want to show you a new feature we're working on for the next release of Comic Strip Factory that we think you're really going to like. Um, when you're editing a comic and you bring in a comic character, sometimes you can just use it as is, but sometimes you want to make edits to it. And often those edits just involve making slight shifts to the position of the parts. So if you wanted to, say, make this guy's walk a little sillier, maybe you'd select this leg and rotate it like that, and then, oh, it became detached, so you have to move it. So there's an extra step there. Now, if you're pretty knowledgeable about how the program works, you know that this little doohickey here is the transform origin, and that when you rotate the selection, it rotates around that, and you can move it. So you can move that from the middle of the hand to, say, the wrist, and then rotate the wrist, and you get the kind of rotation that works better, where you can see all the way through the drag what you're going to get. And you don't have to do that little move step at the end. But that can be kind of a nuisance, and dragging the parts into place after you've rotated them can be kind of a nuisance. So we've decided to put that level of smarts about what the pivot point for each part is right into the part itself. So I'm going to close this up, and right underneath it I have a window from the new version of the program, and I'm going to drag the same Fred Nerd pose in there and double click it to edit it, and then I'm going to select, let's just start with the hand. I'm going to select the hand, and you'll see the pivot point is already at the wrist, so we can just rotate the hand. If I click the head, I can just rotate the head. I don't have to reset the pivot point first. It's already pivoting around the right point. And now, while the foot has a pivot point at the ankle, and the leg has a pivot point up here at the hip, if I select them both, it knows the relationship between feet and legs. So it knows that when both a foot and a leg are selected, it should pivot around the leg's pivot point. And that is really slick and a big time saver when you're editing these custom poses, or if you decide to bring in a part, a different part altogether from the one in the pose. And you want to rotate it so that it looks good. And one additional bonus of this feature, let's say I've got this head like this, and I want to flip it, is that the flip command now knows about that pivot point too, and it flips around the pivot point. Whereas before you would have had to do, after flipping the head like this, you would have had to do that minor position adjustment that you had to do when rotating. So that's it. We hope to have this new version out in maybe a month or so. We've got some other things in the works that we hope you're going to really enjoy. And so keep an eye out for it. If you bought through the App Store, it'll be an automatic download for you. Automatic upgrade through the App Store if that's how you've got things set up. And if you bought through our own web store, there's an automatic upgrade feature through that too, which will happen when you launch the program once there's a new version available. So until next time, we will see you around.